style and everyone's textbook answer. So it's a bit difficult to generalize. Some kids can't stand sports. Still, I'd say that the vast majority would choose football. As a teacher trainee, this is from a teacher trainee perspective, I've seen the magical effect of playing football can have on a group of kids. It gives them the chance to run around and let off steam. See, some use of good idioms as well. Okay? And the rules, unlike those of chess, are pretty easy to learn. Basically, you just have to get the ball into the net. Okay? So these could be a sample of how you can respond to part 1. Achievable? Achievable? What? No. Not yet. I'm giving you a sample. You don't need to say it exactly like this, but it has that criteria, as in you have used some of C1 words. Okay? Your sentences are varied. Okay, you use some simple sentences, you have some complex sentences, you use them every day, right? Okay? Alright, can we move on? Shall we? Okay, let's move on to this one. Can you try this one? Okay, 45 seconds. More than? Oh, more than 1 minute.
Will take some time to
Generate the response, right? It takes more than 1 minute. But that one, this one, the instruction is, it has to be more than 30 seconds.
The second question and all can, because the second question is more than
That one can.
That one can, because this one can't 45 seconds.
Okay, what are these pictures about? Okay, these are photos of extreme sports. What will be the one on your left? On my right? Or on your, yeah. What will be this one? A photo of 2 people hiking, going for a hiking, alright, in one desert hilly area. Can you talk about that one as well? No, it's a bit a desert-looking place with a lot of hills. As compared to this, while the other one is more of a water sports. Okay, looks like the 2 are on a canoe, isn't it? The 2 people are on a canoe, and probably they'll just leisure around, playing around rather than in a competition. So these 2 activities can be done during leisure time or on a holiday, okay? Between friends and colleagues. Remember just now I was highlighting on what you can see in the picture? Okay, it can be an activity that is being done among friends, or even close family members who are interested or have the same passion for these kind of sports. Okay, what else can you say about the photos? They seem to be enjoying their outdoor activity. One is laughing through while she's paddling in the water, while the other one might be enjoying the sights, you know, while they are trekking. See, everything is on the photos. Yeah, things that you can extract from the photos. Anything that you can have to think out of your box? Not really, right? So things that you need to be observant. Okay, for example, you can talk about the man. When you go for hiking, You need to be geared out with all the necessary equipment. For example, you need to always have a water bottle close to you because it takes out a lot of your energy, and you need to be hydrated all the time. See, these are some of the words that you can use. Okay? All right, let's look at the second one. The will take place. But you need to practice lah. I pun dulu juga. Dah hari-hari buat kerja ni jadi tak ada dah. Dia on the spot terus I jawab kan? Sorry, I cannot sit next to you on the test day. I always have that request. Doctor, you sit next to me boleh tak doktor? Doktor tolong jawab kan? Cannot. Okay. Why do you think people like these types of activities? Okay, why? Number one, look at the photos. This is a way to enjoy nature. One of the things that you will always do to have a me time, isn't it? All right, some people would enjoy doing me time activities like this. When they look at nature, it's a part of healing for them. Okay? Macam mana doktor boleh jawab macam tu ah? Practice lah. It's all about practice, okay? Next, how about the boat, the canoe? Now some people have the skill of paddling in water. I normally don't have that, but for some people they enjoy the water more than the nature, the land, okay? So, depends on your own passion and interests. One, choose such activities based on what you are more keen of. Aduh. Easy kan? Okay. Last one, ah? Baru part 1. Okay. Always giving this. Okay. Which place do you think is more attractive as a holiday destination for families and why? Well, I can't say for all. Each and every family will have their own preference. My family enjoys nature. So if you were to ask me, I would choose hiking. For water is something that I fear most. Alright? As a family activity, you can go around the hills, enjoying nature. You can see how teamwork comes in place. And it will be a good bonding session. Answer the question? Yes. Huh? Kacang kan? Okay, now the best tip for these questions is related to you. Related to you. When you talk about you have a lot to say, isn't it? Because it's something that's close to you. Don't relate it to others that you have to think and create more, in which you require time. Come back to you. Use you as a sample. Use you as your family as a sample if you need to, or you can use you and your colleagues or your surroundings as examples if you need to. But it will be best when you relate it to you and it's easier for you to respond. Okay? All right. Achievable? Can do? Can. Okay. All right. Still always getting this timer going. Okay, let's skip any more. Okay, another photos will be something like this. I'm just sharing with you some of the examples they have. You can have sports, you can have photos of families We have had going on the road, you know, pictures of on the road, whether you're on a bicycle or you're on a motorhome. You have that as well. We have had family photos like this, food with immediate family and extended families, all right? And then you have also photos of having takeaways and home food, all right? So these will be some of the examples of photos that you might come across during the tests, okay? But what I can safely say is, whatever photos that comes on your screen will be something that is around you, okay? It's not something out of the world. Even if you are not familiar with the dish or the holiday destination or even the setting of the pictures, that does not matter. It's what you can extract from the photos that is on your screen. Make full use of that. Okay? All right. Can we move on to part 2? Let's go out. This is the one.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
We have some more appreciation. Dr. Should I show that other slide, that smart to talk one? The small talk. I ended the slide, but I hid it.
Never mind lah. We do it later lah. You want to do it with this one, is it?
Up to you, Dr. Anything can.
Smart talk to you.
They can actually go down and then see there. That's the reason I put the picture there.
Let's go to this. Okay, let's go to part 2. You're done with part 1. Part 2, what's part 2 again? Part 2 is about 1 minute preparation. Okay. What else? Talks about a topic. Okay, you're going to be talking about a topic. And how long do you need to talk about? Talk 2 minutes. How many questions? 3 questions. So the breakdown of the 3 questions must be addressed within the 2 minutes. Okay? All right. So with this task, we are recommending small talk to you. Now what small talk to you does is you can record and they will also give you the response. Because for small talk to you, they need a maximum of 1 minute. Then only they can give you feedback. Any lesser than 1 minute, they are not able to give you the feedback. Okay? 1 minute and above is fine. So we are recommending small talk to you for part 2 and part 3. Okay? Part 4 and part 1, you can try and do ChatGPT. Yeah? When you go to small talk to you, choose speech analyzer. One of the features in small talk to you is speech analyzer. So click on that one. It will have a recording icon there for you to record your answer or your voice. Okay, kindly bear in mind that these apps that we are recommending only looks at your language. Okay, it only gives you feedback on the language, not on the task. All right, task is something that you need to pay attention to as well. Okay. But what we are trying to propose here is, when you know your level, at least you can work on the task. Okay? You need to know whether the language, the vocabulary, the structure that you have is meeting the required level. Okay? It gives you a direction and something to work on. Okay? You can also Google. You can also go, if you are not able to come to screenshot this. You can also Google small talk to you. Small talk to you, and it will provide you with the features as well. Okay. It has a sign in, a login. So you log in using any of your Google accounts. It does not need to be your Delima. It can also be any of your Google account. I normally just log in with my Google account. Yeah, I don't use my formal account anyway, because it's just apps that you can use for your everyday use. Yeah. if you already have the apps on your phone, you scroll down and you see speech analyzer. That's the one that you can use. It's a button to record your response, and they will give you the feedback. Manage to find it?
No.
Okay. This is?
The Google one.
Or the Google one. So you start now.
Sign in all that.
Just sign in. So when you sign in, normally I'll just put in my Google Gmail account. Speech analyzer. It's on Small Talk to You on Speech Analyzer. So it will come out like this. You see? Speaking level. You just scroll down and you have speech analyzer here. A speech analyzer. Okay? Speech analyzer, so you just record yourself. Here, start recording. Okay? Speech analyzer. Are there? So you just click that and you can record yourself. Right? Okay, for those, if you're ready, let's look at the first question. I'll give you 1 minute to prepare your answers, yeah? Okay, this is how this question will look like for part 2, in which they give you all the 3 questions there for you to look at and digest and prepare the response for these 3 questions. So in part 2, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. You will have 1 minute to think about your answers before you start speaking. Begin your speaking when you hear this sound, okay? Now there are 3 questions here. The first, how important is it for children that children learn about saving money? What advice would you give someone about managing their personal finances? And why do people think that wealth brings happiness? Okay, so all these 3 questions have to be addressed in 2 minutes. Okay, shall I give you 1 minute to prepare first? Okay, 1 minute. So you may start now to prepare your answers. We shall start after this. I stop first.
Okay.
Let them have lunch and come back.
You okay?
Ah, okay, good. They are giving her another dose because it seems the pressure is still not stable. So they're increasing the dosage. After this is what? After this is?
Yeah, part 2. Yeah.
Part 2.
Part 2 is alright.
Part 1. Also, don't worry, during the test we don't have this. Keeps you alert, isn't it? Alright, can we start with the recording? Okay, you have 2 minutes, starting now. Record your answer. Take pictures of them trying. Okay, managed to?
Sorry.
Okay, managed to do that? Was 2 minutes enough? Did you cover all the 3 questions? Okay, sometimes you tend to go overboard for question 1 and 2 and you leave little time for question 3. Okay, so how can you overcome that? How can you overcome that? There is a timer on your screen, correct? There is a timer. So time yourself. Question 1, 40 seconds. The moment it completes a 40 seconds cycle, move on to the second question already. Okay? You need to keep track on that. The computer doesn't do that for you anymore. They have done that for you in part 1. Remember? Part 1, they have done it for you. They give you 45, 45, 45. Part 2, you control. 45, 45, 45. A little bit more for part 3. Okay? So, these 3 questions is a bit tricky in a sense that you need to balance the response between the 3. Because one of the marking scale in C1 is you need to respond accurately, appropriately for all 3. The moment you did not respond well for the 3rd question of that part, you may not belong in the C zone anymore. You will fall into the B zone. Okay? So, first and foremost, respond to the 3. All 3, yes. Okay, the question is always on the screen. Okay, the 3 question is always on the screen. It will not be taken away from you. They are not testing your memory. They are testing your ability to respond. So even after that 1 minute preparation, the question will still be on the screen for you to look at. So as you are responding, you are actually looking at the question. Okay? Alright? Okay, let's look at how we have sampled the answer. This is one way of responding. One way, not the way. Okay, now look at the organization of the response. The first one reflects the first question. Second one reflects the second one. And the third one reflects the last question. Okay? Now look at the ones in bold. These will be some of the words that you can use to reflect a C level word. Okay? It's not that your C word have to be everywhere. Show that you have a good hold of C words. If you don't give a good sample of C words, how are they going to give you your C? I know everyone wants A, but for CFR you only need C. You need to aim for C. You don't aim for A. Okay? For CFR, you aim for C, not A. Okay? You have to change that mindset. Okay, such a coincidence that only yesterday my colleagues and I were discussing the importance of teaching children about saving money. This is something that you embed intelligent filter and responding to the task. Yeah? It's definitely a vital skill. Apart from the word vital, normally we use the word important. Right? Apart from important, you have vital, you have essential. Is what else? Crucial. Okay? So you can only use other words for that, yeah? Well, vital skills to have. I reckon one reason so many people get themselves into debt is that they don't understand about interest rate. Coincidentally, you ada degree in perdagangan. Kan curriculum beyond curriculum, across curriculum kan. Perdagangan ke, mathematics ke. If you want to put, this is one angle that you can take. Does not mean that you have to take this angle. Okay, this is one example. They take out a loan or get credit on goods, and then they're trapped with exorbitant charges. Where's exorbitant? What's a simpler word to exorbitant charges? Expensive, isn't it? Exorbitant would be extremely expensive charges, high-rated charges. Okay? If they learned about this in school, they wouldn't have such a hard time as adults. For those who knows the curriculum, you can talk about primary school having children exposed to financial literacy. Okay? That is why in year 3 now, children are exposed to financial literacy so that they don't get trapped in all these debts. Connect with something that you know within your field. Okay? The best advice I could give about managing personal finances is to have a clear idea of what you want to achieve. Is that how you do it? Is that how you give advice? What advice do you give? Should you given to answer this question? What advice do you give? Pardon? Okay. Track your spending. Make sure that every month after you get your pay, you put aside some money for savings. For example, in Maybank to you, they have this tabung feature. You can always allocate a sum of money in that account so that every month they will deduct immediately, automatically on a monthly basis. So that is your saving. Something that you do now as well, isn't it? Does it have to be something out of the world? No, something that is practical, something that you do yourself. You as a user, how do you save money? And that you like to advise on others. For example, every month I make sure I give 1,000 to my wife as savings. Example. Alright? So that way I know that my wife saves 1,000 for the family. So in times of need, I can always tell my wife, can you please take from savings for our holiday, for example. Okay? So these are things that you can relate in your responses. And final one. Which one is more important, right? About the saying. Okay? As I see people who think wealth automatically brings happiness, are fooled by media hype. Okay, they look at the glamorous lifestyle of the rich and famous and equate that with happiness. See words like equate, right? While of course it's true that money can help you solve many problems in life, it's not a magic wand. Right? So these are some of the ways that you can respond to the third question. Okay? Doable? Not responding. Doable, teachers? Yes. Must be hungry, huh? I'm the one who's doing all the talking. You're at the receiving end. Oh, you have to digest. Absorb and digest. Any of it filtered out already? Has gone out? Or is still inside? Still inside. Okay, I hope it stays inside. It doesn't, find its way out. Okay. All right, any question for part 2? Any doubts, any questions that you like to clear yourself with regard to part 2? So remember, you can relate to yourself experience, personal experience. It does not have to be textbook answer. Okay? Be natural. Remember just now I mentioned conversational mode. Okay? So be comfortable with yourself in answering the question. More of having a conversation with the system. Okay? Alright. You good? I'm worried. Are you good?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, I only hear high ones over here. Okay. Any questions till part 2? We'll stop for lunch. Then we'll come back earlier. Is that okay? All right? We'll stop for lunch at 12:15, which is 2 minutes from now. And then we'll come back at 1:30. Is that fine? If we come back earlier, maybe we might be able to go off a little bit earlier. No promises though. Depends on how you respond throughout the workshop. Okay? All right? Any questions before I let you go? You're good? You don't seem good. Never mind, teachers. You can do this. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? Continue practicing. All right. You ready to go for lunch? You're good for lunch? Okay. We shall break for lunch. And we come back at 1:30. Should be okay, yeah? Zohor awal kan? Okay, so 1:30 we're back in the room and we'll continue with part 3 and 4. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a good lunch. I'll see you back later. Thank you. We're gonna have lunch first, yeah? Okay ke Puan? Are you good? Okay. Continue practicing. Which school are you from? SK? Bayarasa. How far is it from here? 20 minutes from here. help me with the...
Tank bayar lah doktor.
It's okay lah.
Apa yang dah pasang?
Dah pasang je lah.
Betul?
It's okay. Huh? Is it hard? Sign first. I have to fill up the top part, is it?
Yang lagi dulu cikgu dengan dia, saya ada nama dengan.
Okay, this one nanti Puan Rohani akan isi. Yang ini saya isi. Ya? Sebab dia akan gantikan saya nanti. Okay. Thank you. Bila? Thank you for the microphone. Nak kena charge dulu? Betul? Sekejap kan dia.